obviously demister for my helmet and then a cooling fan for my back as well. All helps in the heat.
This is Oz after he'd passed one of the Army's toughest tests to become a high-threat IED operator. Already a paracommando, he was one of the best explosive experts in the world.
Oz was an outstanding operator. He'd done a lot of devices. He was respected by the battle groups. You know, he was the man.
What no one had anticipated was the sheer number of IEDs Oz and his colleagues were dealing with in Afghanistan. Our soldiers are 3 times more likely to be killed by an IED than by gunfire.
The threat's massive. When it comes to the physical fighting, the actual firefights, and that we will win every time. We've got better equipment, we've got better weapons, and our tactics and the way we do stuff is better tenfold. So the only way they can possibly try and attack us is with the IED threat, and the IED threat over there at the moment is just off the scale. You know, it's ridiculous how many there are out there.
The reality is terrifying. In 2008, the threat from IEDs in Afghanistan grew by 400%. When Oz was on tour in 2009, it rose another 400%. In Helmand alone, 450 IEDs are triggered or are made safe each month. That's 14 every day. He said there still isn't a day that goes by that I don't see an amputee or see people that haven't been involved in an explosion and suffered horrendous injury. Another operator had come back in that day and that their team had been blown up in the morning. One bloke lost his hearing, 2 blokes got fragged faces, and another lad lost both his legs above his knees and 1 arm. So the morale between the youngsters has definitely taken a hit. It was a big motivation for him. Every device that he could render safe, you know, was potentially one more life, one more limb. So it was very important to him. Of all the British soldiers killed or maimed in Afghanistan, 7 out of 10 are down to IEDs. And it's not just our soldiers. Last year alone, 2,500 Afghan civilians were killed or injured by the homemade bombs. Never before have high-threat operators been under so much pressure as they take the long, lonely walk to defuse each IED.
It's the long walk, it's the walk you do on your own. No one else goes forward bar the operator.
As you head towards the device, you're thinking about the bomb maker himself and you're thinking about the device itself, because those 2 things will establish effectively whether you live or die at the end of the day.
It's the humidity combined with that searing heat, which can reach up to 55, 60 degrees.
You constantly have sweat pouring off your face. You have dust, you know, a layer of dust on you at all times.
Biggest pressure you're under is actually time, because there are potentially people's lives relying on it.
And there's an added threat. They're targeted by Taliban snipers while they work.
You can't think about the enemy rounds coming in or anything. You've got to rely on the infantry that are with you to protect you and look after you so you can do your job and work on the device.
A heavy day would be something in the order of about 12 to 15 in a day.
Over probably 3-4 days, we cleared probably 37 devices.
We all intrinsically understand the dangerous nature of the job, but you just get on with it. But then when a close friend of yours gets killed, that's a bit of a bookmark. It's a bit of a reminder that actually the job that you are doing could potentially take your life.
In making this programme, I hope to discover more about how Oz died and the pressures he was working under. The Army's most senior bomb disposal officer agreed to meet me.
These are photographs taken by one of OLAF's team members after he completed a series of actions. So he's in what we call sort of the clear-up phase of this operation. And these are the last photographs that we have of your husband alive. These were taken approximately 15 minutes before the blast in which he was killed in action.
These are very precious, and thank you for letting me have these.